Hello friends, this is Salar and welcome to my channel. Today in this tutorial, we are going to develop a very basic calculator program. On your screen, you can see the final version of this program. We are going to perform basic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. What you're going to learn while developing this project, you're going to definitely learn how to work with the radio buttons, and you will learn how to use the TryParse method to validate the input from the text boxes. And in order to develop this program, you don't need advanced programming knowledge. You can easily develop this program if you know how to work with different data types and if you know how if a statement works. Okay, so let's start the development of this program. Open a new Windows Form project. Now we need to design the form. You can follow this step. Begin with dragging a label control. Adjust properties. Now we need two group boxes. Copy and paste. It's good to work with the group boxes if you want to group your controls. You can perform the same operations on all the controls inside the group boxes. Group box 1 is for the text boxes. Numbers, and group box 2 is for operations. And now we need text boxes for reading input. Copy and paste. And we need labels. Copy and paste. Start with label 2. Properties. Number 1. Number 2. And here we will display the result. First text box, change the name to TBX number 1, and our second text box, TBX number 2, and our third text box will be TBX result. And we will set read only property to true. Okay, so we are going to display the result here, so you cannot write something here. This portion is done. Now we need radio buttons, so place a radio button here and copy and paste. So now we have 4 different radio buttons. Start by adjusting the properties. Addition. Back color. Choose the back color to make it prominent. And the name would be radio addition. Now take the second one. Radio button 2. The name will be radio subtraction. choose a back color. And the text would be subtraction. Third one, radio now the last one. So now we need two buttons. Copy and paste. One is for calculate and one is for clear the results. Adjust the properties. Button 1 and the name would be BTN calculate. Button 2 name would be BTN clear. Our form is almost ready. You can modify the form according to your need. For example, you can change the background color, you can change the color of group boxes, like select the group box and back color. You can choose, for example, white, or so it becomes more prominent. Okay, now we will start coding and we can begin with the clear button because it's very simple to program. Register click event, and here we go, and we need to write TBX number 1 and TBX result. This button is gonna reset our text boxes. Okay, we can declare some variables as we need some variables for holding the data. We will work with double type as we are developing a calculator. Okay, so now we have two variables for holding user input, number 1, number 2, double result for holding result, and string operation for holding the sign. Okay, these three variables holding 0 and operation is empty. Now run the program and see if clear button is working properly. Yes, it's working. Now I want you to take a look at the radio buttons. These radio buttons are gonna basically define the operations, and all the radio buttons are unchecked right now when we start the program. When we're working with radio buttons, a good practice is to make at least one button default for the application. Default button means button will be selected when starting the program. And for this application, I'm going to make addition as a default button. We use RadioButtons checked property for selection, and addition will be our default button for this application. And for that, here under the initialize component, we will write radio addition property check is true. And when addition is checked, our operation would be plus. Okay, so let's run the program. And here you see the addition has become the default for this application. Now user can select subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, on the basis of these selections we are gonna change the operation, and for that we have event which is called CheckChange, and we're gonna attach the CheckChange event to all the radio buttons we have on the form. So let's do it one by one. Select the first radio button and properties. Here we have CheckChange, connect it. Now the second one, CheckChange. Third one, and the last one. Okay, so here we have 4 different CheckChange registered to every radio button, and whenever you check radio addition, this method fires itself. Whenever you check radio subtraction, this method is gonna fire itself. And our radio buttons define only the operation, and that means we will write here plus minus and division. So now radio buttons are programmed. Okay, and what we are doing here, we are just assigning the operation to the operation variable. So our clear button is programmed, our radio buttons are programmed. Now we are going to program the calculate button. This is our final task. So attach a click event. We will first read data into the program, and for that I am using TryParse. That would be number 1, number 2. The TryParse method converts the data into the double from the text boxes, and if the conversion goes well, the method is gonna return a boolean true, and we are saving the result of conversion into these 2 variables. TryParse method takes 2 arguments. This one is gonna be source. Okay, so we are reading in data from these 2 text boxes and then assigning to our variables. Okay, this method won't let your program crash if the data is not good into the text boxes. Okay, so this is a more secure way to read the data into the program. Now we have conversion results saved in these 2 variables. We can scan these 2 variables using an if statement, and we can code like if Okay, so here we are scanning the results, and if conversion goes well here and here, so that means we have true here and true here. Okay, so we are gonna come inside the if statement and perform the calculation. But if something goes wrong here, that means we are coming inside the else statement and we are displaying a message box. Okay, so let's run the program and check it out. So I'm writing 12, it's okay, that is good. But now I am writing something like this. Now we have a message box notifying the user that the input provided is not good. Okay, so it's working, and now we are going to perform all the operations inside the if statement. Open a switch statement here, and switch argument would be the operation. We don't basically need the default statement. Our case 1 should be plus, and here we're gonna write, we have a result variable for holding the result and 1 plus 2, and then we will display the result TBX. Just copy, paste it 4 times. If operation is minus, and if operation is multiply, and if operation is division. Here we need to make a small check. We will control if the denominator is not 0, because it's not allowed to divide something with 0 in mathematics. And here so we can write if number 2 is our denominator, so we will perform the division only if number 2 is not 0. Okay, else so we can display a message box here, and we have the code. Copy and paste it here, and we can write can't be 0. Okay, so our calculator is almost ready. Let's give it a try. And the selected operation is addition. Calculate 24. Now subtraction 0, multiplication 144, division division is not working properly. This is because yes, we copy paste. Now it will work. So let's do it again. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the division. Let's see if you have zero here. If you want to divide something with 0, so here we have a message box notifying the user, and you can specify the number of digits after the decimal point. Like here, you can write, you can format the string. If I again 3 addition. Okay, so now we have result in 2 decimal numbers, And yes, the program is almost ready to use. I hope this program gave you the idea of how to work with the radio buttons and how to validate data using the TryParse method. Thanks for watching.